There we go. All right. Should be live. Good morning, YouTube. Scott with the Bullish Bears, and I'm going to be setting up a watch list for today. There's a few stocks on here that we were watching from yesterday afternoon that are now on today's watch list. So we're just going to look for continuations from those, and I'll show you this morning if we find any good setups on those to be able to play those. So this is essentially my my watch list right here on the left. I'm playing with some other stuff over here on the right. So I'm going to move that back over, thing up, and I've got chat open on my right screen. I've got the scanner on my other right screen. This is my main grid right here. And then I've got my other watch grid over here and another watch grid over there. So plenty of space to watch. Let's check our chat real quick and see if anything else was setting up. All right, so I've been watching WIMI for the last couple days. On the daily, we're still low in the buy cycle, and we popped up and we kind of retraced here. And essentially, I'm just looking for another opportunity to catch another pop before the sell-off. I'm looking for potential 850s. So nothing huge on WIMI, but that would be the goal that I'd be looking for in the immediate future. We're also watching, well, I'm watching IVAN. We've been in an uptrend as well, and I think we had earnings the other day, if I remember correctly. Also watching SLV from yesterday. That would have been a nice swing. You can see here on the daily, we've started an uptrend there, and we've been retesting the $12 area. I'm sorry, that's Ivan. This would have been another another good hold for this morning. Let's see. I'm not even looking at the scanner yet. There's a lot of movement on the scanner today. And everything is slow. My thinkorswim charts are like a snail. Yesterday was a pretty choppy day. There's a lot of back and forth movement. It was tough trading, but we were able to catch a few good moves, but I ended up right on the day anyways. All right, so I'm not going to do the recaps of what we're looking for in the future for longer term, but we'll go ahead and start cycling through some of these stocks just because there's so much volume coming into them. It's hard not to. PETZ is one that we've traded in the past. PETZ is one of those where it pops up and then kind of sells off. You can see here it did that previous push to 14 and then just sold down really, really hard. Right now we tested 8, which is kind of the top of this, towards the top of that candle there. So let's take a look at our daily and see what else we can see in there. We were 28. Let's go over to our hourly, see if we can identify some structure in there. We are in kind of a good spot right here on PETZ if this area ends up holding up. That over to 2-minute chart. I'm just going over to an hourly or a 1-hour chart to see if we can identify some obvious levels. So right now we are kind of doing that hard sell off, and our left shoulder is lower than our right shoulder right now, and we're kind of hugging that 15 EMA right here. So we're forming that wedge pattern. We have some bullish momentum on the CCI, and we have that cross on the MACD. So for that pop up to this 430s to potentially 434 area. You've got that triple wick deal right above VWAP. So look for taking some profits off at VWAP. Right there is where I'd be looking for a rejection. So I'm going to start by adding PETZ to my main watch. You can see that even UONE is up, which is nice, very nice. And come on, a little more. Come on, buddy. What else do we have? ARTL just popped up. This is another one that we were watching yesterday. I had it on my my long-term grid. You can see that we've played it before often. I was looking in these areas for entries and exits, and we just kind of accumulated a position right here. So you've got a pivot number one, and it comes back down and it tests this hammer. So you've got this G down here. And for those of you that are new, maybe on YouTube, I use a strategy of supply and demand. So I look for areas of demand and expect that when price gets back down to demand, that there's going to be market makers or people that are looking at entering to accumulate positions in those spots. So if those levels hold, then we're looking at that as potential accumulation for a continuation to higher. And with that, we look for those dips and then holds of those dips and then the pushes. So then if we look on ARTL, I don't know if this has been the highest it's ever been. All right, so I hope you guys took some bits off on PETZ on that pop. But ARTL looks like we started an IPO in 2018, and we've been kind of selling off ever since. So you've got some bag holders up here, obviously. You've got some pretty big sells up here at the $4 range. So if we're accumulating a position to go higher, I'm not expecting an accumulation to be something like a small move, but we have to play the market that we're in. And right now, if you look left, this was what I was looking for. We have a big move from area, and then we have a pullback, and then we have this. There's a doji right down here that I was paying attention to off of that first push. That looks like a little bit of control area inside of here. So I was looking for that area to hold and that's like the beginning of that big move up. So now that we're up there, we can start marking out some of our levels. We've got $1.53 there. We are, where are we? Again, this is just a daily time frame. So we've got $1.53. There's a little bit of a gap here in this candle, and it's a doji as well. So we can highlight this area here, and we can extend that to the left. This area is the first area. Once it reaches it, this is a pullback area. This area is going to be where you'll probably see a flag up here, flag up here, and then a flag definitely here. And then that would $1.84 would probably be like my max target on that, expecting that this area from $1.94 to $1.84 is going to be strong selling pressure, because that's one of the last pullbacks before the bigger move down. So this whole area is going to be an area that I'd be targeting for an exit the first time it makes it to there. I wouldn't expect it to go much higher than that. So we could actually change our drawing tool back over to that, and we could extend that to the right. And that would be like our main target, expecting turbulence when it gets to these areas here. So I'm going to turn that to like a brown color, because anything brighter than that kind of hurts my eyes. All right, so now we're looking for the move from below VWAP, accumulation, and then a potential test back above it, and then a continuation higher. Obviously, keeping your risk management in check, knowing that we haven't been able to break back over VWAP yet since we had that first initial sell-off. And these are going to be the flag areas here. You'll see a flag there. You're going to see a flag right here. And obvious flag when you hit this area up here. So, I mean, it's just one of those things where you're going to hit those areas and you're just going to expect pullbacks. So if you are bullish on this thing and you're expecting it to rip, then you could look at those areas as your take targets or take profits. And then you could look for those retracements in the structure and then get back in on those structure retracements. So PETZ did what I was just explaining on it earlier. Boom, boom, boom. Take profits as it crosses over VWAP, just like everybody else. And that was a nice 30 cent, 20 cent pop from that call out. So you can see here that we got into this long wick doji. If you follow us in chat, you know that when I see a doji that has an even top and even bottom, I highlight the whole thing out, and then I'll mark out the body. So that way I know where the potential target should be. Obviously this one went a little bit sooner than that, but that's why I always take profits as it crosses over VWAP rather than waiting for it to show me its bearishness. Because a lot of times if you get a stock that's curling back up, it hits VWAP and then it rejects. And if it rejects and it doesn't close above VWAP, then that's showing you that it's kind of, it's a little bit on the bearish side. So we need to wait for it to reset. So again, with the accumulation, we're looking at this area as potential accumulation in pre-market. And we hit that area, and now we're testing this hammer right here. So, all right, what's next? Did I just mention ARTL? So I'm going to add ARTL to my list and see what the market can bring. ARTL was one of the bigger volumes on the day so far. It's got 14, almost 15 million traded so far. And EVAX was also something that ripped last night. You can see here it went all the way to $50 and came all the way back down, all the way back down to 15. So I'm going to do something a little bit different here, and I'm going to take my fib level, and I'm just going to mark that fib level out and see what sticks. I'm also going to take it from 0 to 100 just because it's fun. And why not? I can do what I want. There we go. All right, 23.6 matches the 50. We got that rejection off of that level there. And the 23.6 held. If you guys follow me in chat in our room, you know that I like the 23.6 Fibonacci for potential entries. A lot of people look at that and they'll think that that's really bearish, and they are correct. But a lot of times off that 23.6 Fibonacci, you will get retracements back up to the 50%. You will get little pops back up to the 38.2. And again, that's always an area where you're looking at taking some profits, and then it comes back down, and you can see that we broke back up and retested the 50. And the reason why I like that kind of a move is because once you're reaching that bearish territory, everyone's looking at taking their profits off the table, and you get that little bit of a reversal, and nothing goes straight down, nothing goes straight up. You always look for that pop back up towards the previous highs and confirmation that it wants to remain in the bear zone. So sometimes I will look for trends back up and then retesting that 50 EMA or that 50 Fibonacci level. All right, so we are still below the EMAs here, so I don't have anything that's really tradable, except let me take a look at PETZ. Yeah, I don't have anything that I can trade on it right now. It's in too much of an indecision spot for me. So you've got the 15 EMA coming down on this peak. You do have a double bottom, but that doesn't really mean much when everything is showing you that you have selling pressure on the downside. We're crossing over, but this doesn't mean much right now. We're over the negative 100. That doesn't mean much either because we're still below the zero line. Not looking like there's a whole lot of need to pop this thing higher. I do like that we have kind of a divergence here, but again, not interested right now. But I am going to add EVAX to my watch grid because it might give us another type of a trade signal a little later. All right, next, let's see here. EVAX is getting volume. That's nice, good for it. And again, it could be potential accumulation. I just don't like it when it's below the 15. All right, HCDI. Man, everything. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. HCDI, we are up on volume and news. They're announcing a $5 million buyback. They've traded 1.3 million so far, and they're up 20%. And now we're just going to look for continuation patterns off of this level. Wish would have seen it earlier because it's a little on the late side to get in, because this is the, I like this little cup and handle type deal we've got going on. But this is still the first pop back up over VWAP on a 2-minute chart. I do also like that we are at lows. And let's see what their earnings look like. They probably haven't even done earnings yet. Yes, it is. All right. So it looks like they're better than expected, and they've been going down. So that's nice. They had a nice little pop up. But again, that's what I'm looking for. That first test and hold of VWAP. I'm always looking for that first rejection. You guys in the group know that I don't like buying the first pop over VWAP. I wait for it to dip back down. Man, that PETZ was nice. Both PETZ and ARTL bounced off of that shadow box that we drew out very beautifully. We still haven't been able to close up a VWAP yet. So right now, ARTL is going to retest probably a little bit deeper back into that $1.32 area. So we'll see if we can get that continuation confirmation. That would have been a nice little dip buy there at $1.25. But yeah, so just like everything else, once you see something that's popping up, we're looking at volume. Volume's drying up as it's coming down, and then they're holding it. And we have kind of a increase in volume on this hammer. So you're looking at this as price tightens. These wicks form, you're looking for increases in volume, like what James was talking about yesterday, and you're looking for increase in price because you're looking at people that are trying to hold price there. So we're looking at this whole area as a potential accumulation spot, expecting it to go a little bit deeper than it has previously, because we've already tested that area a couple times. You can see that we've got this shadow box. So we've got 1, 2, and then it pushed. So we're looking at a third touch and maybe a little bit deeper. So maybe at like 210 test. So we'll see if we can get a test there, and then see if we can see a reversal type pattern. But I don't think I'm really going to watch this too hard. I'll probably end up putting this on my long-term grid along with BBBY and SPCE and Lucid and DD. I just have to find a spot for it. Is this helping? Is this helpful for anybody? Chat's awful quiet today. I mean, they're great options. Those larger caps, they're a lot more predictable, and you can really grow a small account quick with with options trading. You can grow a small account super quick. You know about our options challenge we're going to be doing soon? All right. Well, for our members, we are doing a towards the end of the month, we're going to be doing a options challenge, and that options challenge is going to be to grow a small account, like a $500 account, and we're going to grow it using options. So we're going to be day trading our penny stocks, but then we're going to be hedging and ooh yes, nice pets. But we're also going to be hedging with our options, and those are going to be safer, longer, like more swings or also day trades. Because if you buy a contract on options, like if you buy one contract, it's 100 shares of a real company. And if that stock goes up like $1, you can make up like 50, 60 cents per contract. So per share, you're making $50 on just one purchase. So it's pretty neat. And there's no PDT rule with it. So there's a lot of good options and benefits to using options to day trade with. Yeah, no, we're not going to just jump right into it. We're going to do a complete breakdown of teaching you guys how to set up the options chains, how to set up the your Thinkorswim to trade. We'll show you how to link your charts to the options platform. It's going to be a full like from point A to point B. So like right here on OCGN, you see that if I change my options ladder to let's do hood, just because we've been talking about it a lot, you can actually trade right on your chart with active trader on hood options. So you can see here that we have a $1.15. So that's going to be $115 for one contract. And every dollar it goes up, you're going to earn like 46 cents per share. So you can buy like a real stock with 100 shares for a lot less than you would normally, because that normally would be like $3,700 to buy that contract, buy 100 shares of it. Yeah. So for the YouTube folks, if you guys are interested in learning what we're talking about and why we like options trading and how to set stuff up for options, you can check us out and become a member and follow us along. We're going to be doing that over a series of months. And like I said, we're going to grow a small account and see how big we can get it in that small time frame. We're going to start with just trading one or two contracts at a time. And then once we grow our account and we can have more risk put on per our account size, then we're going to be increasing those sizes accordingly based on our risk management that we preach about in our chat room. So come check us out. All right, so DBGI. Let's get rid of you. DBGI, what you got going on? All right, so we had a previous level here that we're retesting on 450s area in DBGI. This isn't one that I just marked out. No, this is too messy. This is from the other day. DBGI. HCDI. Where did you go? I started talking about options, forgot what I was doing. Let's do HCDI. There we go. All right, so still accumulating below, but I don't believe you. So it can do what it do until it shows strength one way or another. All right. And you, my friend, DBGI, we've got a not ready to buy you yet. Same reason as before. I look for the 15 EMA as a rejection spot. If I were playing this, if I saw it earlier, you could potentially take a bounce play off that hammer and play it to the 15 and take your profits as it hits the 15. You also have this little gap here, so that's the obvious target, which is also lining up with the 15. So we will see if we can get some kind of a reversal signal off of that. But for right now, that's a no-go as well. Probably need to clean that chart up a little bit. There's too many lines on it. No, they're still accurate, so I guess we can leave them on. Another thing I don't like about it is you've got all these lower wicks right here just hammering price down and not a lot of support below it. What's up, Stone? But DBGI is getting a lot of volume. Right now it's up 12.5% and has 4 million on volume so far. So I'll get rid of bingo, even though I wanted to watch it for a longer term. PETZ, watch it right here. Targets 2 tiers above VWAP. Oh, I'm in the 1 minute still. What am I doing? Come on, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. All right, so targets. All right, we've already hit that. So that target is weaker, but I'm looking at this 466. So that's one target. Second target would be that. $477. I don't know how this candle didn't close above VWAP. All right, let's do it. So essentially, I'm just looking for that first pop above, the first real close above, caught by the 15 and this hammer, looking for that initial push, a little bit of a pullback, and then the final to 477, potentially 494. While that sets up, I'm gonna take a look at MRO on the side. MRO has been trendy. Daily chart looks like we're starting to curl over a little bit. Um, 2-minute chart looks like we had a nice little pop in pre-market. And we may be seeing some continuation here after this candle closes. But I'm gonna step off real quick. I'll be right back. Oh, I'll let you guys watch my grid. Might be more useful for you. Nope. All right, we didn't fail this hammer just yet. So we'll see if this holds up here. Looking a little weak sauce there. EVAX though. Ooh, that thing is going to be probably the one that gives us the most volatility today. We're getting right into a bunch of selling pressure. So expect some shenanigans here. And we're testing the upper portion of a wedge. So what I'll watch for is off of that bottom of the wedge, we'll see if we get a retest and or if VWAP can hold now and squeeze price against the upper wedge here, then we'll watch for that to break out. If it wedges, if it just pops, I'll watch for a retest back down with a nice hefty wick and a close back above the wedge. But I'm not going to pre-anticipate the breakout here because a lot of times these wedges you'll get a quick wick and the one candle close and then the next candle will come in, but there won't be any wick on the bottom and it'll just flush back down and retest the bottom of the wedge. So for me to think that this wedge is going to be valid, it has to pop up, come back in and give a strong wick rejection back out of the wedge there. So try not to anticipate those types of breakouts because they can really crush you, especially when it's a $3 drop. That candle's still tugging at my heartstrings right here on PETZ. We have about 35 seconds till that candle closes. I want to see it close as a hammer off of this, otherwise it plays dead to me. OCGN looks like it's starting to wake up a little bit. And nice little flag pop on DBGI. Again, you've got wick into wick into wick, almost into wick, but it almost retested it, but it doesn't quite. So that's a lot of selling pressure right there. There's a close. Nice. Way to go, PETZ. All right. What's up, bud? Now that you're on, I can leave. Awesome. Yeah, it's a pretty good list so far. There's a lot of stuff that's been on the move today. A lot of volume coming in after yesterday. Yeah. Yep, I like that one too. I don't have any room for it. It's the problem. All right. So for everybody that is in our chats regularly, you all know that I have 9:15 meetings, and so I'm going to cut my YouTube stream here. And this is a pretty decent watch list for what we've been seeing, and I will be able to. I'll show you guys how to trade these or what I'm looking for at the market opens, and I'll be calling out shots in the trade rooms of stuff that I see setting up and what I would be expecting from some of these moves. Keep an eye on OCGN. Look for another pullback and potential flag just below $11 for that pop up and test. And yeah, so if you guys are interested in learning how to build a trade plan, learning how to manage your risk, learn why you might be getting stopped out of your trades, come and check us out, and we will try to help explain how the markets work and how they really move and how to manage your risk properly and find safer entries on these plays that that end up ripping someone's face off. So until then, we will see you guys later. Oh, and don't forget about our options challenge that's going to happen later in November. If you guys are interested in growing a small account without having to have margin, without having to have PDT rule, we will show you guys step by step on how to set up your options account, and we will be trading with you so you guys can grow the account with us. So this isn't something that we're recording and then we're going to post to YouTube. This is something that we are going to do actively for our members and explain all of the moves as they happen. So that way you guys can make a decision if you want to take the same risks on as we are and trade with us. So we will be showing all of the entries, exits, risks, all of that stuff. So hope you guys have a great morning, afternoon, night, wherever you are in the world, and we will see you guys there.